Hi StoryMakers! We are diving into chapter 10 of Creation, but before we jump into this lesson, I've got a quick question for you guys. Have you ever been tempted to do something you knew you shouldn't do? Maybe your grown-up said, don't eat those cookies before dinner, and you were like, but I know they'll taste so good. Or maybe you were supposed to do your homework and you were tempted to not do it. Well, today we're going to be talking about how Adam and Eve were tempted in this perfect place that they called home. So go get your zine, go get those tools, and meet me right back here. All right, guys, let's take a look at our visual for this week. Look at all these snakes, guys, and that's the fruit, remember, from 2 weeks ago on our tree here. And then last week with the snake here. Now we've got all these snakes and this one fruit. Looks so crazy, guys. I don't even know what's going to happen in this story, so I think we should jump on over and see. Guys, let's dive into our script. We're reading about temptation. It looks like the snake has some speaking parts. So Henry, can you be the snake?
Sure.
All right, let's get started.
Didn't God tell you that this fruit will make you happy? One bite will make you like God. You will know everything.
I'm not sure about that, snake. How do you know?
This is the tree of knowledge. The fruit of this tree will make you just like God.
Adam and Eve wanted to be like God. They forgot that they were made in God's image and that He had already given them everything they would ever need. Whoa. It's a tricky snake right there.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
You can see why it's called temptation.
Whoa, guys, our story is really starting to amp up, right? There's so many things happening. Adam and Eve definitely heard God, and they knew they weren't supposed to eat from the tree. But in most of our stories that we read, a lot of our favorite stories, there's always a bad guy, right? Or an antagonist, the one who just tries to do all the bad things. And the snake, it seems, falls into that bad guy camp, right? See, Eve forgot about how good God is and how God would always provide for them. And when Adam and Eve forgot about the goodness of God, that is exactly when they fell into the snake's trap. But we could see the clues along the way, right? We could see when the snake was whispering those lies about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And when immediately afterward, he tried to convince Eve to eat the fruit. It's crazy, right? I've got one big question for you guys. All right, guys, so my big question is this. Why do you think Adam and Eve forgot that God was good and loved them? Why do you think Adam and Eve forgot that God was good and loved them? All right, guys, so our activity for today is broken heart. So on these pieces of broken glass, I want you to write about a time where you felt tricked into believing something that was not true. Like there was one time I got tricked into believing that one of my friends was really mad at me. And I was so hurt and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know. But then come to find out she wasn't mad at me at all. But it really hurt me and I felt a little broken. So I want you to write about a time where you felt like you were tricked into believing something that was not true. You can write it, you can draw it if you wanted to, but use all of your tools. All right, guys, let's close out our lesson with a little prayer. Dear God, remind us that we can trust you to be good and that you love us. In your name I pray, amen. Well, guys, we've got some brokenness entering in, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next chapter. And I'll see you there. Bye.